it's every day you're building it. You're building it. And do you ever notice how sometimes you don't really even know what you're doing, but you just keep doing it? You know, and I think that's where I would get stuck a lot. And the recent success with this song, with it reaching a lot of people, has inspired me to show up every single day. It's helped me become better with what I'm doing and more committed. And I'm so grateful that like people want to hear it. That's the biggest, you were asking earlier, was the biggest moment of my career hearing my song at the stadium. It's like I want to say yes, but alongside of that, I've always made just regular old, oh, here's a love song. And I'm so thankful for that gift. I have been gifted the greatest gift to show up every day to help people in the way that I've been able to help myself.
Hey everybody, welcome to Delusional. I am your host, Michelle Coyle. I am here with my brand new friend, Cole Adams. Cole, please introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, my name is Cole Adams. I'm a singer-songwriter. And I've done a lot of healing work and have healed myself through daily affirmations, positive mindset, and have combined it with music. And I'm sharing it with the world, and I want you all to hear it.
I'm so excited to have you on the show. And I met you on TikTok. Yes. You are my very first TikTok guest.
I'm honored. Thank you for having me.
Look at how it pays off to spend your time on social media. Anybody that's been watching or listening for a while knows that I've been on a fun little experiment of becoming TikTok famous for the last 4 or 5 months. But I'm so excited that it's paying off in real relationships. And the way I found you, Cole, was that your TikToks would come across my feed and you're singing these affirmation songs. And I am a trainer of neurolinguistic programming. I'm a coach that works with unconscious reprogramming. And I immediately recognized what you were doing. And I was like, she's singing it at us.
It makes me so happy that you knew what I was doing. Yeah. Because I didn't exactly, go into detail about what I was doing. I was just kind of throwing it out there just to see. And so it's really cool. Now I'm being more specific, but yeah, I wanted to see what would happen.
Well, it was really cool to hear. And one of the things that I love, and we'll get all the way into your backstory because I know you have a crazy story and I know we want to share it with everybody. But I got to say up front, one of the things I love about your music and the way that you use it for unconscious mind reprogramming is that you phrase a lot of it as a question. And I've actually been talking to some of my clients about this and using your music as an example of when the affirmation is phrased as a question. You like to use like, why am I so healthy? Why am I so wealthy? It presupposes in the language that I am healthy, that I am wealthy, and it does something different to your brain to do it that way. Can you go into that a little bit for us?
I would love to. It helps to bypass any doubt in the subconscious mind. If I, like for instance, when I was in chronic pain after a very serious accident, and you're feeling it, it hurts, and you're saying, I am healthy, I am healed. I felt like it would help a little bit, might calm me down. But overall, years were going by. Like this was a span of a decade. And for a few years, I was doing this and I wasn't seeing much help with just saying, I am healthy. And when I started to say, why am I so healthy? And it was also the way I feel when I say it. And these what I would say out loud, like, why am I so healthy? Why do I feel so good? I noticed all of a sudden my mood would lift. Mm-hmm. But after I started saying that on a daily basis, 21 days goes by, a few months go by, I started noticing some pretty incredible changes with my own body and not feeling that same chronic pain. So it's like our subconscious mind, when we ask in the form of a question, it's looking to show us, why am I so healthy? Mm-hmm. Why? And it's incredible. I want to tell the whole world, and I'm noticing that a lot of people don't know about this. I'm getting a lot of comments on my YouTube channel, on TikTok. Actually, some people are angry. Like, no, don't say it like that. What are you doing? And I'm like, and I'll respond. I'll be like, have you heard of affirmations? Please look into this because it helps to bypass the doubt in the subconscious.
Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, so let's just go ahead and open a loop here because you had some stuff to heal from. That's how you figured out how to do this. You learned the hard way, like all of us best kind of learners do.
Yes. Yeah, I believe so. Life can get messy. Mm-hmm. And that's when some of the greatest stuff is born. In 2015, I was on a little 49cc Yamaha Zuma scooter and a little moped. And I was in St. Louis, Missouri, 4-way intersection. A lady ran a red light going about 45 miles an hour in a van. And I had just started accelerating. and she T-boned me.
Oof.
And I don't want to get too graphic here, but I kind of became a hood ornament for a minute there. Metal rod, put it like the bone in my left leg. Like, where did that go? Ugh. Metal rod in there. I'm so grateful to be alive. And I think that was a huge part of it, is like when you almost lose your life, there's a sense of gratitude that I'd never felt before after that accident. And so that's where I think like tragedy can turn into triumph, because it's been 10 years, but I still carry that gratitude every day. As I'm like, oh my gosh, I think this specific type of accident probably had around I was looking it up, probably around a 25% survival rate. I'm like, oh my goodness. So that led me down a road of looking for natural ways to heal, because I wasn't really big into taking drugs or pills, because I had a past with alcoholism and that was a huge part of this whole story too, because it was like going through alcoholism from 19 to 27 years old showed me the opposite of what you do when you don't take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. So by the time I'm in my late 30s, now I'm 41, it's like, okay, all I want to do is be good to my body. And when I started to discover all the positive talk and started studying different types of neuroscience, reading Joe Dispenza books, meditating, that's when I started to discover how we can change our lives so drastically just with our words and our thoughts and beliefs. Like our beliefs, whatever you believe to be true is going to be true. That's like my motto every day. When I start spiraling, I'm like, oh, whatever you believe to be true is going to be true.
That's right. And we talk a lot about creating your own reality around here. I mean, that's the whole point of the Delusional show is if we're going to create our own reality, let's create a good one. If we're crazy, we're crazy. Doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks, because I get to live in the joy that I have created in my own little delusional world. Okay, so if I'm doing the math right, you said you were an addict from an alcoholic from 19 to 27. You said you got in this accident 10 years ago. So there were only a few years that you had sober before the accident happened. Is that right?
Yep.
So
yeah, it was pretty crazy. So in those years, it's funny, but and hopefully this will inspire people. When I quit drinking, things started to take off for me with me.
Amazing how that works.
Like, I didn't have any big record deal, but you build confidence. I went from playing the bars, which is great, to now I'm building the confidence to try out for these jingle contests. Now I won this regional jingle contest. Now I'm trying for this national jingle contest, 9th place. But still, it's nice. Like you're putting yourself out there. So that was really inspiring for me. But that accident, that really put a damper in things. I was on bed rest for a few months. But once I got off bed rest, that's when the really big delusional stuff started, in the best kind of way. I mean, there was delusion years ago too. But if I told my whole story, we'd be here forever, and I wouldn't want to keep you. But after that accident, I was told, don't go out to California. I live in St. Louis. Because I had a friend doing music, and he's like, if you come out here, we can record you. And everyone's like, don't do that. Except, luckily for me, my mother and father, who I'm very close to, they've always supported my delusion. Thankfully, because I know most people's family don't. Yeah. But they're like, go ahead, just go. What's stopping you? Yeah. You had to leave your job because you're in a wheelchair. Yeah. So when I got out of the wheelchair, I literally had my little walker and my big boot, and I'm getting on the plane to go to California. We started recording songs, and I stayed out there for a while. I met people. I ended up living out there. And then I lived in Reno, Nevada for a couple of years, played music there, and just all that traveling really, I know you know this, it just enhances your soul and it expands your mind to be in different places. And I've met a lot of people with that like-minded mentality of you have to speak this into existence. You have to speak your health into existence. So I'm sorry, I don't know what trail I went off on.
Oh no, that's what we want. But no, we want all your trails. Okay, so I can imagine your parents saying, yeah, go do whatever. Now they were similar to you, I'm sure, just happy you were alive, just happy that you were okay, that you were gonna be okay. I'm sure at that point they were like, whatever you want, go do it. So, but it is amazing to have supportive parents, and I will say it has been a common thread on the show that a lot of people don't, like you said, and sometimes it's a spouse or sometimes it's somebody else, but there's a lot of people out of, concern for somebody, like wanting them to stay safe, wanting them to be okay. Like we know it comes from a good place, but there are a lot of people that'll say, I don't think you should try that, or I don't think you should do that. Like stay small, stay safe. I want you to be okay. And the delusional people go, fuck that.
That's just it, Michelle. That's just it. And I'd say 99% of people around me were all telling me no. Mm-hmm. Like people that I played music with, people like, because I was in different bands, duos, I did solo stuff, but 99% of people around me were like, what are you going to do? You need to have a solid job. What are you doing? You need to buy a house. I'm like, what the hell? I don't want to buy a house. I want to go to California and travel. And like, not everybody has to do life the exact same way. And that's what I feel like nobody around me understood. And what's so funny, and you're going to of course, get this. It's like when you peel away from those mindsets and those people, respectively and with love, you start aligning with people that are delusional in the best kind of way, right? And it's like, they're doing it. They're doing stuff. You're like, well, it's working. It's like, what do they say? It's crazy until like you make it happen.
Yeah.
And then people are like supporting you and you're like, oh, now you're a bandwagoner, aren't you? So we don't worry about those people.
I've been saying for years, Cole, I'm either completely insane or a genius, and we're going to find out one day which one it is.
I love your sense of humor. I'm going to be confident and say you're a genius.
Thank you. I'm going to, since you are so adept at manifestation, I'm going to believe that is true. But from your lips to God's ears, you heard it.
It's
here.
true.
Thank
you. Thank you for that. But that's true.
Why am I such a genius?
Why are you such a genius? I mean, why are you able to help so many people by sharing these stories, by sharing your own story? You're helping endless people and you're inspiring people.
I appreciate
This is the exact content that I love stumbling on when I'm on YouTube.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, look at these people. I can do it too. So more power to you.
And that's how I feel about you, which is why this is such a love fest. I want to talk about being I want to talk about being a musician for a second, because that's a hard road to hoe. We all know that. I'm not a musician like you are, but like we all know that that's not the easiest path to take in life. Were you always a musician? Like, were you a musician as a kid?
Yeah, I started out just with like all the toys and banging on pots and pans, like 2, 3 years old. Did the whole band thing, was not good at playing the trumpet. Kind of like faked my way through band. Come to find out as an adult, as a professional singer, I wasn't breathing into my trumpet correctly. So now I'd like to think I can carry a decent tune with the trumpet. But yeah, I did the marching band through high school, and I went into college to do music theory and quit after the first semester because I was rebellious. I wanted to rock and roll. I wanted to play in the clubs, and I wanted to be a singer-songwriter. And that was 2000, going into 2003, 2 into 3. And the music instructor was like, singer-songwriter, you can't go to college for that. And I was like, then why am I here? He's like, I don't know. Why are you here? So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. And then you were just doing it like this whole time.
Yeah. So when I started, I dropped out of college and decided to just start working, I got, like a lot of musicians, I got sucked into the world of culinary because my first job was at Burger King at 16. So by the time I was 18, 19, 20, I think it was right when I turned 21, I tried to be more serious about it. And I got a job as an entry-level cook at the Marriott, which turned into the Hilton. That's why I made a weird face. I'm like, wait, which? I worked in 2 hotels in one. But that was a journey of 15 years. So for the next 15 years of my life, all through my 20s and a lot of my 30s, I cooked in restaurants. And what was cool is restaurants have live music. So that gave me a lot of opportunity to start learning how to perform. And luckily for me, I didn't even realize I was doing it. But luckily for me, I was gravitating toward these really high-end restaurants. So therefore, I'm making bigger tips. I'm the clientele. I'm getting a lot of opportunities. Oh, I want to come on this local radio show, or, oh, would you like to play it at my venue? Because I own 3 buildings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got real lucky with that because I know I said earlier, I played the bars. I played the bars too, but I think some of the best experiences I had as far as learning how to be professional and end up like in a Reno downtown hotel because I did that from like 2018 and 19. I was in downtown Reno, and that was one of my favorite gigs. This is a very nice hotel on the river. I mean, at one point, I think they had some like oil billionaires going through there. And it's like, so it's I'm seeing a world that I did not come from through music. And it was cool because it inspired me. This is totally off the topic, but it inspired me. It's like, no, I didn't finish college, but I started to learn about how money works through these people, how to build wealth in a completely different way. And so, yeah, I went on a completely different path. And just about everyone except my parents told me I was messing it up. Oh, you're fucking up your life. What are you going to do? And I'm like, I'm doing it. What do you mean? I'm following my intuition.
I love that. I'm doing it right now. And it's totally on topic, by the way, Cole, because this is another theme that we see from all of our delusional people that have done all kinds of incredible things, is that they saw somebody else doing something and they said, if that person can do it, I can do it. That's a key point of almost everybody's story. And it is true that when you get exposed to different levels of wealth, different levels of power, different lifestyles, things you didn't grow up with, it does allow you to expand your mind into like, hey, they're just people like I am. They figured out how to do this. I could figure out how to do this or do something similar. In fact, I can figure out how to do whatever I want because everything's figure outable, right?
Right. It truly is. Like, we really can't do anything. Some people might think that's cheesy, but when you start doing it, you see it. You're like, okay, yeah, I can totally do this.
Yeah. As an entrepreneur, I've seen this experiences multiple times where I have an idea in my mind. I know how something's going to look. I know what it's going to be like, or I've visualized it. And then, a year later, that exact thing is coming true. And I'm thinking, oh, this is only here because I saw it first, right? If I can't see it, then I can't make it happen. But if I can see it first, I can make anything happen. That's why we start so much with visualization, right?
Absolutely. And I'm all about following that. And like, sometimes I'll feel it within my heart space. Like, I feel a calling to something like this affirmation music. When I first heard other people doing it, the affirmation music, I immediately was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It took 3 years.
Yeah.
To like actually come through, because I realized, oh, if I'm going to do this kind of music, I need to do my own inner work.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's right.
And that's where it started. It was a few years ago. It was like, and I was still in chronic pain. So when I started to implement all these affirmations and was saying, why am I healthy? Why do I feel good? I had to come to terms with a lot of shadows. And one of them was realizing I was afraid to move after that accident. And I was about 50 pounds overweight a year ago.
Yeah.
Or a year and a half ago. And so the affirmations helped me to rewire my mind to start moving again. It was the weirdest, coolest thing, because all of a sudden I found myself being like, I should count my steps. I'd never done that before. I should count my calories. It all just started happening. And before I knew it, I was walking around the neighborhood one day and I'm like, a year ago, I was afraid to take a walk because I believed I was too injured and I might hurt my back. Now I'm walking every day. And now it's a year and a half later and I am grateful. I've lost 35 pounds. And I know that it's because I rewired my subconscious to believe that I could do it. And this experience, it's been so challenging and dark at times, but it's worth it. I wouldn't trade it. It teaches you so much, right? It's not just the lesson in itself. The lesson builds upon itself. And it's like, no, look, you believed that you couldn't move for years after this accident. And when you started to say you could, it took a little bit, but you did it. And now it's like you're living in a completely different reality. That's what you're talking about. It's like the shift. You're in your manifestation now.
Yeah. And, and not to get too deep or nerdy, if anyone wants to nerd out with me about this for hours, you know where to find me. I answer my own DMs. We're not that famous yet. You can.
Me too.
I know that's how we're here. It is. We were DMing each other.
My people will call your people.
No, there's no people. We just called each other. Maybe one day. I shouldn't say maybe one day. Why am I going to be so famous that I have to have people answering my DMs and I can't even open my own DMs one day? Why?
Why is it that it's like that? Because I'm outside gardening and keeping myself grounded so I can continue to show up for people and not have to do admin work that makes me stressed.
That's right. So when we rewire unconscious mind, I'll try to give like a top level primer here. The unconscious mind is actually the one running the show. People don't understand this. We think that it's our conscious mind, the one that just is the monkey mind and ruminates and gets really neurotic. We think that's running the show. We like to think that's running the show because it makes us feel in control, and feeling in control makes us feel safe. But the reality is none of this is in control. This is like this guy, the conscious mind, he thinks he's the CEO, but he's really the doorman, right? He works in the mailroom. The real head honcho is the unconscious mind, and the unconscious mind is working 24/7 overtime to make sure that the conscious mind does not have to be bothered with anything that is not necessary. So like I'll tell people, can you feel your feet in your shoes? And they'll go, oh yeah. I was like, well, you weren't thinking about that before I said it, right? Because unconscious mind had decided that that was not worth putting in your conscious mind. That was worth deleting. We delete, we delete, we distort, we generalize all the time. And so whatever unconscious mind believes, that's what's going on. You think you have free will consciously. Nah, you're showering in the same order every day. You're putting your clothes on in the same order every day. Like so much of your life is on autopilot. And like, Cole, I don't remember if I mentioned this to you, but like, I have this experience now, even knowing all this shit, right? Where I will listen back to this show. And usually when the episodes come out, it's like about a month after we recorded them, right? So it's been some time. I'll listen back to the interview and the guest will say something. And in my head, I'll respond and it'll be the exact same thing I say on the show. I'll laugh at the exact same point. And I'm just like, man, I think I'm like a unique snowflake. I think I've learned and grown in the last month, changed. No, I'm the exact same person that recorded that a month ago. My brain is running on autopilot in so many ways. And I'm not saying, obviously we're learning, we're growing, but it's funny to me how much of what we do, how much of what we say, how much of our reactions is just that automatic, those neural pathways, those grooves, that unconscious mind is just running the show. And if we want to change things, we have to very intentionally and deliberately start to reprogram the unconscious mind, or it's going to react in the same way every single time. Which is why we get people saying, oh, I don't want to be overweight, but then they're on the couch with chips. And I'm saying that as somebody who got very overweight. Like you, I've lost a lot of weight in this past year. I've lost about 55 pounds.
Heck yeah, that's freaking awesome.
Thank you. But yeah, like, so I'm not, anyone listening, I'm not speaking from inexperience here when I'm talking about getting overweight, but I had to deal with my own shit on that because I was going, why am I saying that I want something, but I'm doing something different? What's going on? What do I need to reprogram? Because I'm going on autopilot with some shit. Unconscious mind's trying to keep me safe from some shit. And so it's keeping me overweight, right?
Yeah. And I think what's so cool is that you are aware of it. And how you were talking about, even though you know this stuff, like, oh, the episode, it was the same. And I thought I was unique. And it's like, well, first off, you are unique. But I know what you mean. It's like, we know this stuff. We're trying to teach other people and share with other people. Yet we're humans and we find ourselves, I just said something this morning where I'm like, wait, why did you say that? You don't want that to happen. So I think it's really cool that we can be the observer and catch ourselves. I've been trying to be nicer to myself. Like, okay, I know, okay, we'll just reword it, but I'm catching it all the time.
Yeah.
It's like that. It takes work. It's worth it.
This is an ongoing process, and awareness is the first step, right? So
yeah.
I want to talk about what may be the penultimate moment of your career, or may not be, you tell me. But you got your music played over the loudspeaker at the Savannah Bananas game.
It's kind of like matched with people telling me I'm helping them with their healing with the music. That makes me cry happy tears.
Yeah.
But they're pretty much one and the same. Like it was so magical, and that truly was manifestation, because I mean, I'm going to condense this story down as quickly as I can, because what's crazy is it started in 2013. It was like 3 a.m, and it was one of those times where everybody's telling me to get a real job, and I'm like, no, I'm going to host these open mics. I'm going to be this guy that just rides around on a scooter and doesn't have a care in the world. I'm like 29 years old, and I wrote this song about bananas at like 3 a.m. And I know now that was meant to happen. Like, it was just this funny song, and it had slightly different words, but it was like, it's all that. And I'd play it at all my gigs. We'd play it at after parties. Groups of people loved to hear it. And I was always honored that people loved it, but I always wanted to do something like bigger with it, like maybe even commercial with it. Like, do I go to a big banana company, this and that? And so blah, blah, blah. But that's 2013. Fast forward, it was 2024. And my dad was like, have you heard of the Savannah Bananas? This was August of 24. And I was like, what? No. What? And I loved sports as a kid, baseball nut, but I hadn't been in that world in like 30 years.
Yeah.
So I look it up and I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, Dad, do you think I should rewrite my banana song for the Savannah Bananas? He's like, yeah. So I did that. And then at first I tried like pitching them the song. Mm-hmm. Nobody responded. You know how that goes. I don't have an agent. I'm just this like no-name person like trying to send an email. Hey, do you want to hear my song? Yeah. So respectfully, I understand, you know, it's like I had a few mentors being like, you should get on TikTok and show them the song. Like, don't just try to send emails at this point. I'm like, okay, you know, I'll just throw it out there. So what was so cool is December of 2024, all of a sudden, the Savannah Bananas had this Banana Land's Got Talent audition. And it was like to perform at their games, which I didn't really, like, I didn't have that desire. But like, it'd be cool. I more so wanted to share my song. I think I was a little too, and now I feel more confident in it after I've been doing this for a long time. But at the time I was a little too nervous and shy to go like sing with a banana suit in front of a bunch of people. But I tried out anyway. But I auditioned anyway because I wanted them to hear the song.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I never heard back from anybody. But that's the thing. That's what I have to share about this story because there was so much resistance there. I was in my head so much. This time last year, after doing that for a couple months, I was like, oh my God, does this suck? Do I stop? What do I do? You know? Yeah. And I just felt called. I kept getting all the synchronicity. I'm like, okay, I have to follow the synchronicity in my heart. And so blah, 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 blah. I'm still making videos trying to promote this song. Barely anyone's seeing these videos. I got 12 likes. Thank you so much to the 12 people. And so then by June, that's when something wild happened. I've never shared this before. I'm excited to share. I don't remember her name. There was this lady who she created her own 20 or 30-day TikTok challenge to see if she could dance at a Savannah Bananas game. And when I saw this video on TikTok, it was June 1st of 2025. I was like, that's it. Because I kept asking the universe, I'm like, how do I get my song to these people? Because there were people that were starting to like it. And even though I said there were 12 likes on the video, the thing is people were starting to use the sound. So there was like 200 videos from strangers with the song. I'm like, okay, people like the song.
Yeah.
So they might not like me doing it. I don't even care. I might look like an ass with a giant banana hat on my head. That's okay. I don't need to do that. So by June 1st, when I saw her, I knew that I had to come up with my own thing. And it was all just so perfectly aligned because they were coming to my hometown in St. Louis in July. So I'm like, there you go. If you start a challenge. So I decided for 21 days. And for the week before that, I made tons of video. I came up with all these different scripts and skits and just trying to entertain people. And the whole thing was, can I get the Savannah Bananas to play my song at the stadium or dance to it? And I have to give a big shout out to the organization, to the Savannah Bananas, a banana ball in a hole. Within the first few hours, the dancing umpire, he shared the song with the DJ that is in control of the music.
Nice.
I felt so blessed and grateful. So nobody said to me right away, oh yeah, we'll play your song. But they were liking it. And I really appreciated after that. The DJ was liking like all the videos I was putting out. I was like, this is so cool. I'm so honored. So then the Bananas, I don't know if you heard the Dad Bod cheerleading squad.
No, I don't know.
They're part of the organization. Then they start coming out of the woodworks and yeah, you go. And I was like, this is so cool. Like different members and also players that were trying out for 2026. Like, I got to give a big shout out to Connor Harris and Old Knuckles, Fisher Polydoroff. These guys are going to be the biggest stars in Banana Land. I'm telling you, they're already stars, but they're starting out this year as rookies. And they are the kindest people. They started liking my videos. Fisher Polydoroff started putting my songs in his videos with him and the fans. And I just thought, this whole organization is so family-like and so accepting of everyone. This is freaking beautiful. And yeah, after 21 days, it was so funny because, oh my God, I thought I'd won a raffle. And this is another thing with manifestation. I kept feeling like I was going to win a raffle because I didn't have tickets. They're like really hard to come by. You got to win this lottery to buy tickets and stuff. I didn't have tickets, but I felt like I was going to win a raffle. My cousin called me like 2 days before the game And it's like, I won a raffle and I got these extra tickets. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Within hours, we found out she got confused and she did not have extra tickets.
Oh.
I had told the whole internet, including the DJ for the Savannah Bananas, that I was going to physically be there. Then I had to get on camera and tell the world that no, I'm not. I felt so stupid. And I'm like, that's okay. Every entrepreneur, every creative person, you're going to look like an ass sometimes. Just be honest. So I get up there and I say that. One of my best friends, he's in California. I'm in St. Louis. So he saw the video and he gets a hold of me. He's like, oh, you're going to that game. And I was like, well, he's like, oh, I'm getting tickets. And I'm like, oh, I'll take care of them. I just thought there were no tickets. And he's like, oh, I'm finding them. So I guess because I was so stressed, I'm not thinking clearly, right? And so he's all helping me out. And he's like, I'm on, what is it, Geek Seat or Seat Geek or whatever. Yeah. He's like, I'm finding them. He found 2 tickets. And I took my dad, which was so cool because he got me into music and baseball. And so then I get back on TikTok and I'm like, okay, everybody, after teasing everyone, I will be at the game. I did not win the raffle tickets, but now I got these other tickets. I mean, dude, it was so ridiculous because I'm telling the world, I'm going to be in this section. Look for me, Savannah Bananas. Oh, wait, never mind. I'll be over here. I'm like, well, I look like a fickle son of a, but I'm just being honest. It's like, it was funny because it made for good TikTok watching, I guess, like a sitcom. Like, look at this crazy person that's like, hanging on by a thread. So I get the tickets, I go, and I highly suggest, if you can, that everybody goes to one of these games because the vibes are just so good, so loving, so exciting. Your inner child will feel joyous. There's people walking around dressed like bananas. I was one of them. And yeah, everybody from the organization is super cool. The owner, Jesse Coyle, is known to stay for like 2 hours afterwards, signing autographs.
Aww.
It's really great. But the moment, oh my God, Michelle, the moment that my song came on, yeah, it was one of the best moments of my career and really my life because I'm so dedicated to this music and so in love with it. But it was just the greatest gift. And I'm so thankful to Mark Shark on the mic and the dancing umpire. Those 2 especially like made it happen for me. And it was my hometown. And there's 44,000 people at this game. And I'm looking around and they're playing the song and I'm losing it, man. So yeah, I'll bask in that moment for the rest of my life. And I'm really grateful that they give their fans that kind of opportunity. Because that girl that did the challenge, they let her dance. Nice. They brought her down to the field and she danced with them.
I love this story. I love everything about it. I love the Savannah Bananas. And I love you. And the first time I saw you was in a banana suit, leaning against a tree, I believe, singing one of your songs. And I was like, it was the visual hook got me. I was like, who's this person in a bit? Oh, they're doing unconscious mind rewire. Okay, I'm into this. Immediate follow. Love that. Thank you. Love TikTok. Can we talk about that? People are sick of hearing about TikTok on this show, I'm sure, from me, but like, it's been almost a spiritual experience for me to have been on TikTok the last few months. So let me go way far back because I'll say one of the reasons I love you so much and I'm so inspired by you is because you're one of the people that I'm like, if my life had gone a little differently, like you're kind of one of the alternate paths for me. I was, like you, a big music geek as a kid. I was in the band. I was in the choir. I did musical theater. I played 7 instruments, I believe. I was not a sports kid. So it was apparent early on, this is not going to be a sports kid. I did play basketball for 4 years in elementary school, never made a basket the whole time. This is a true story. So she's not a sports kid. She's a music kid. And I went that way. And all the way up through, I went to college and I was studying political science, but my friends and I would get around, we would sing the blues. That's another thing I love about your music is they're so blues influenced. And we would make up the stupidest blues rhymes and we would go for hours just singing the da-na-na-na-na. And then we would like sing a verse, make it rhyme, and everyone would go around and do a different one, like all through college. And even after college, when I married my first husband, my oldest son's dad, he's very musical. He played guitar. We would sit around, we would write songs, we would play guitar. And I became a mom, and at a certain point that just kicked in of like, I need to figure out how to make money. I need to take care of my kid. Oh, I'm going to get emotional. Why? Just you being
That's
here.
That's okay.
I know.
That's okay.
I'm
You
a
know what?
sappy
I
kid.
cry like 10 times a day.
I do
I don't know if
too.
that's normal, but it's a good release.
Especially, I'm 44, man. This perimenopause shit, like something's going on.
It's coming for us.
It comes for you. I was an emotional person anyway, but it's gotten like extreme lately. But when I found out I was going to be a mom, it changed my priorities. And I ended up,
Sure.
we were broke. I mean, we were having a nice time playing guitars in our little apartment, but we lived in DC. We were broke. We had this baby. And that's when I decided that I needed to figure out how to make a lot more money. And so I went to business school, which was hugely fun, hugely transformative experience. I owe so much of my life to that experience. And so many of my closest best friends are from business school. And it totally put my life on a totally different trajectory than the creative, the musician. One of the things that occurred when I was there was okay, so let me back up a little bit. I went to business school at Dartmouth. I went to an Ivy League business school. I am not an Ivy League person from an Ivy League place. I am from the trailer in Oklahoma, which is why I have
more power to us.
Trailer-like tattoos. Do you have a skull too?
Oh
yes.
Yeah. St. Louis is a pretty you got to have tough skin to live in well, I'm from South City.
If you're listening and not watching, we are showing our matching skull tattoos right now. You should really watch us on YouTube. We have matching. I am not from an Ivy League culture. This was culture shock to me. And I got up there. I'm in culture shock. I'm away from my 18-month-old son at that point. He's with dad and grandma in Pittsburgh. I'm flying back and forth from New Hampshire to Pittsburgh. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah. And I'm in class with these people who have been on Wall Street, who have been at McKinsey, who have been management consultants. I don't even know what they're talking about. And everything's graded on a curve. And I immediately begin failing. I never failed in school. I mean, I wasn't like a straight A student. I was like a B student, but I never like failed. And I'm like failing, like I'm going to fail out. And I go to the dean of students and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm failing. I want to go home. I miss my kid. This is awful. And she's like, okay, but you're still going to have to pay the $140,000 you borrowed to go here, whether you graduate or not.
Oh, so there was that, huh?
And she goes, and shout out for any Tuck people listening, Sally Yeager, she just retired this year, but she was a beloved dean of students for decades at Tuck, and she helped so many people, including myself. And she said to me, Michelle, there are no trophies for people who don't ask for help. What do you need? I'm going to cry.
Aww.
What do you need? I'm like, I don't know. She sent me to, it's called Dick's House at Dartmouth, which is like the medical facility. They interviewed me. They said, I think you have ADHD. Probably. They put me on medication. All of a sudden I could study. I could hang in there. My grades came up. I was, it got me through grad school.
Yeah.
And this is a long-winded story, and I'm sorry. But I was on that medication for 16 years, and I was kicking ass and taking names in terms of going to grad school, coming back to DC, having an amazing career, climbing the ladder, making lots of money, started as an entrepreneur, made millions of dollars, just check on this shit. And that was great. But at a certain point, my life began to change, and it began to say, okay, what are we hiding with this medication? What are we medicating here? Because, and I don't know if you've read this, but I've been reading lately that ADHD now they think is actually more of a symptom than a root cause. They actually think it's a symptom of complex trauma, complex PTSD.
Wow. I have not. I'm so glad you shared that with me. It immediately resonated because I was diagnosed ADHD as well.
Yeah. But I didn't get to be ADHD, right? Like in that scenario, I couldn't be ADHD and get out. I needed to get out. And then, having my kids, climbing the ladder. I married my second husband. I married somebody who knew me as that medicated person. And we were on the same vibrational level, like medicated me was on the same vibrational level as this guy, right? Makes sense?
Yeah.
So then I go through this whole thing where I'm like, okay, I'm not addressing my trauma. I'm not this, I got off the medication. Which I had been afraid for years to try to get off that medication. I was convinced that I wouldn't be able to drive a car without it. I mean, like I was like deep on it. Right. But I got in my 40s. I was like, I'm going to actually deal with the root cause. I started to learn about the unconscious mind. I'm going to deal with the root cause. I'm going to get off the medication. Turns out I can drive just fine, y'all. I mean, it may be because my Volvo drives itself now, but I can drive. I'm safe.
You're so funny.
I'm safe. And, I'm not worried about my physical health in terms of my heart health and things like that from being on those stimulant medications. But really, I have come back to the person I was before, which is like, I'm creative, I'm
Yes.
musical, I'm a poet, I'm all these things that I always was, that I forgot about conveniently for like almost 20 years because I was trying to check the boxes, and I checked the boxes amazingly. Like I'm very successful by anyone's on paper standards of someone who checks boxes, right? But I was
Right.
missing that. And I've had this typical, I guess, midlife crisis thing where you come back and you go, wait, who am I now? My kids are older. One of them's an adult in college. The other one is a teenager. And I've got time and I've got space. And I'm like, fuck, I miss music. Fuck. And I found you, and I was like, this is, and I'm not saying any of that's wrong. I love my kids. I love like all the experience I've had. But I look at you and I go, wow, this is someone that I could start to be like again, because I can come back to myself now because my kids are almost grown. My acute financial responsibility for them, we're a few years away from being done.
Yeah.
And if I'm not
That's
financially
exciting.
responsible for other people, I don't give a fuck. Cole, I go live in a tent. I don't give a fuck.
I love that. And I respect so much that you showed up for your kids.
Yeah.
And that you weren't like, I don't care about this. I'm going to go, float around like a traveling gypsy and leave my kid behind. Yeah, it's admirable. And to me, I feel like it's the right thing to do. That's love. But I'm extremely happy for you that you're at that point now where you can have more freedom of time and financially to do what you want to do and not have to, be there for other people.
Yeah, not have to check everybody else's boxes. And I think, I got to this point over the summer. This is what led me to get on TikTok, where I was like, I want to create more than I consume. Like I'm consuming a lot and I'm not like doing anything. I'm not building anything. And I'm somebody who's built businesses and, I'm a builder, I'm a creator. And I was like, I want to create something different. We started doing this podcast in August. This came out in August. And I was like, I'm going to push myself a little more. I was a little bit slow at work. August usually is. And I got on TikTok, Cole, because it was the scariest platform for me. Like of all the social media platforms, it was like the most foreign to me. I'm like, I'm a 44-year-old woman. I've been traditionally successful in like an executive kind of entrepreneur MBA kind of way. People like me aren't really hanging out on TikTok. They're hanging out on LinkedIn.
Right. It's so funny you say that because I feel the exact opposite. Uh-huh. Like I feel like I am too rough around the edges to show up on LinkedIn, even though I'm there. And are like too weird. But that's what's so cool connecting with you is because like we're around the same age but we have so many similarities, but like you said, we took those different paths. But look how we're both meeting in the same space 20 years later. Back. And that's beautiful. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's just like, but it's because
I blame ADHD, but it's totally my fault.
No, it's all my friends have ADHD, by the way, or like some kind of autistic or ADHD, or we all are. And I'm just like, yeah, I should have, known this a long time ago. When I got on TikTok, I felt just like you did. I was like, at first I was just like, oh, it's your mom trying to push the buttons. Like those were my videos. Were like, how do I make this thing zoom in? But as I got into it, I was like, oh my God, it's fucking awesome here because you can literally just hit record. And I was challenging myself to make 3 to 5 videos a day, every single day. So that forces you to just, oh, my makeup's not on, my lighting's not on, my whatever, like I was used to recording like this with makeup and lighting. All of a sudden I'm in my car going like this. All of a sudden I have like all these new little implements that stick everywhere that film you.
Yeah, it's so fun. I love that.
Because like I got to get my 5 videos a day and you cannot be polished 5 times. I mean, I'm sure some people can. I could not be polished 5 times a day and do everything else that I wanted to do. And I realized, I like the raw people here too, right? I was kind of known a little bit on Facebook for writing in a vulnerable kind of raw sort of way, but it's a whole different thing to be raw on camera, right? Like speaking to camera. But I realized, this is what resonates. This is what, and I love it. And people there are so supportive. And I got kind of addicted to it. I mean, I guess that's the point, right?
Yes, I did too. It's like no other space. Like you were saying, I was very intimidated when I first got on there because it's kind of confusing because it doesn't look like anything else. Mm-hmm. But once you start, like you're saying, it gets fun. You're like, I can get the hang of this, or, oh, wow, I'm going to try green screen now. Oh, what's going on?
I remember literally writing to my friend and being like, how do you do the thing where you're a little head and you're like in front of a picture And she like sent me a screen recording of her doing it to show. And I was like, oh, that really wasn't that hard.
That is a good friend right there.
Yeah.
That's cool. She did that. Yeah.
Why am I so wealthy with such an amazing network of wonderful people that help me out no matter what? Like, I love, that's fucking wealth right there. But I love it. And I meet people like you, people who are doing shit, people that are positive, people that are high vibe. There's a lot of like real high vibe positivity on TikTok that I haven't really found anywhere else on the internet.
Me either. I love that you feel that too. I'm not feeling it on Meta. YouTube, it's starting to come out the woodworks a little bit, but quite honestly, my main experience has not been very good with YouTube. Like some of the stuff people say, but with TikTok, it's the negativity seems minimal.
Yeah.
And it's just so much positivity and like-minded people that are they nerd out with, neuroscience and the conscious mind. Like, we love to, and it's great. So it can be addicting. Sometimes I'm like, I feel like I need to go hang out with people over here. To be honest with you, since I moved back to St. Louis, I don't really have like people here in the physical. Like I'm a lone wolf, which I feel like it's meant to be right now because I'm like zoned in on this.
Yeah.
But I've noticed a lot of people on TikTok will say the same thing, like especially people very tapped into like spiritual topics. They're like, there's really not a lot of people around me I feel like I can talk to, but then I get on TikTok and I meet these people and they want to talk about, wow, you can create your reality.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and we're not doing it on LinkedIn. I mean, I'm doing it on LinkedIn, but I'm just being a weirdo over there. My theory right now is like, I'm going to say this shit on LinkedIn and see how it's going. It's not going very well so far, but we iterate.
You're a pioneer. I feel like you're a pioneer because were you looking at this kind of create your own reality stuff on YouTube in like 2016, 17?
I was not. I started with Abraham Hicks in like 2004. Like I'm
beautiful. That's great. That's great. I didn't find that until probably like 17, 18. So I was way behind with that. But I just noticed that even in 2016, 17, whenever you talk about creating your own reality, it just seemed like there was a fraction of the amount of people talking about it compared to now. Like after 2020, everybody started talking about it. So it's like you can be that person, that pioneer on LinkedIn, like, oh, she was there. She was telling people about it and y'all were acting like, oh, like it was nothing to talk about. Oh, it's something to talk about.
Either crazy or a genius, and we're going to find out. I'm telling you what.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you decided to do this music with affirmations in it. Were you looking at people like, I found Abel Hart, right? Maybe 6 months or a year before you, like, were you looking at people like that and going, okay, this is a thing? Or like, how did it come about exactly?
Thank you. I love this question. Yes, I was. And I became obsessed with music from Chris and Teeb. It's Chris and then the letter N and then Teeb, Chris and Teeb. Their background, they're producers and like, I think it's like more gospel background and rap, hip hop, but they call it like, I know I've heard them call it affirmation trap rap and stuff like that. But I got so into that, like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with it. I still listen to it every day. And then there's this guy named Mellow Will who also does rap, that it's all, the money is coming. So, I talk about money, the money is coming so easily. And like, man, I just want to listen to this all day. After listening to that for a few years, Shariah Wise, there's a few other artists, I thought, what if I take my blues rock, St. Louis style background and make that? So I started to kind of like do little experiments with my acoustic guitar and put it on TikTok a year ago. But you know what's real funny? And I just thought about this the other day. My intuition said, don't share the song I Am Grateful. Don't share it. You need to record it and you need to copyright it. And I'm like, okay, okay. So that's what I did. So I like did not share that song for a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
And then it just felt like it was time. I was doing other stuff, other songs, just kind of, but when it was time and I went to share it, I put it out August 8th of 25 when you started your podcast in August, right?
Right.
You said, or was it when you got on TikTok?
No, same. August 25 is when I did both of those things. Yeah.
That's so cool that because it's like my story kind of came into fruition there too, because I released the song I Am Grateful. And it was doing better than some of my other stuff, which is like unknown indie artist. So it was doing a little better than like hardly any likes or anything. But once October hit, it just like the algorithm pushed it. And it's like, oh, I went from 250 views to 25,000. Oh, thank you. And that's when I was like, oh, this is why I intuitively felt you need to copyright this. Don't just throw this song out there. Copyright it. This is of value. So I'm thankful for that. And now it's funny because it's like, I'm such an indie artist that it would take me a year to get 1,000 streams. Oh, and, but you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But now which my numbers are still so small, but for me, they're huge because it's like, I am grateful in the last few months, we're almost at 9,000 streams.
Wow.
I've been releasing music for 4 years. And I hadn't even gotten to 9,000. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, it all started with listening to these other people create their own, and it inspired me. So thank you for letting me share all that. I'm talking McGee over here, but
no, this is great because I feel like we're getting you right at the beginning of that hockey stick moment. And we talk a lot about, you said luck, and like, yes, why am I so lucky? And luck is where preparation meets opportunity. When you have been grinding along for years and years and years, and then the Savannah bananas come along or whatever the fuck comes along, you're ready to take that moment because you were grinding. And I feel like people like to look at these as opposite things instead of like, no, these are all parts of the same equation. We get up every day and we do our thing, we do our thing, we do our thing, and we put ourselves out there, and then a moment will come along where it's like, this is why I was doing all of that. And you don't get to see that forward. That's only clear in hindsight, right?
Absolutely. It's like, it's every day you're building it. And do you ever notice how sometimes you don't really even know what you're doing?
Yeah.
But you just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I would get stuck a lot. And the recent success with this song, with it reaching a lot of people, has inspired me to show up every single day. And it's helped me become better with what I'm doing and more committed. And I'm so grateful that like people want to hear it. That's the biggest, you were asking earlier, was the biggest moment of my career, hearing my song at the stadium. It's like, I want to say yes, but alongside of that, I might cry. But it's like, I've always made just regular old, oh, here's a love song. Oh, here's, which is great. And I'm so thankful for that gift. But knowing that people are commenting and saying, oh, this is my daily song, or I love this, or when they start saying stuff like, this is helping me with pain with leukemia, I'm just like, wow. I have been gifted the greatest gift to show up every day to help people in the way that I've been able to help myself. It's like, I don't see a greater gift.
I don't either. I'll tell you what, I get like,
I'm so thankful.
Sometimes I get, 100 views on my video, whatever. But like, and sometimes it's podcasts like on, some of them will get like a few hundred or a few thousand views, but sometimes it's like 12 views or whatever. But every single time I put out an episode, one to three people, between 1 and 3 people write me and they go, oh, I was listening to this today. Guys, that means more to us than you can ever know. Like, if you are touched by what we're doing, please write to us and tell us, because there are days when it feels like you're shouting to the void, nobody cares. But when it just that one person says, hey, like, your video made me think today, or that podcast episode was amazing, or whatever, it's like, I'm going to do this forever. Like, I'm going to do this forever. If I help one person a day, I'm going to do this forever. Like, that's amazing. One of the things I loved about you, and I noticed this, and I don't want to come off stalkerish, maybe a little bit, but one of the things I noticed was you didn't post one video of I am grateful. You posted over and over. Like, there are so many videos of you singing that song in the banana costume, out of the banana costume, in front of different backgrounds, like what, standing up, sitting down, with against a tree, like whatever, right? Like, you were gonna get lucky because you were fucking doing that every single day until somebody saw it, until somebody took notice of it, right? Like, this is what it takes. And people will post one thing and it will go nowhere, and they'll go, I guess I'm not cut out for this, right?
I'm really glad you brought that up, because I was the person that was not posting consistently for like 4 years. And a lot of it, I know, is, for me, it was the same with a lot of people. You're afraid of a bunch of stuff, which a lot of it is afraid you're going to bother people or you'll be annoying. When I started listening to a lot of these music gurus and music business people explaining it, it made sense that it's like, you want to treat it like a brand if you want to make a living off of it, and you're advertising.
Yeah.
So what's funny is around the time that I Am Grateful, like it got out there a little bit, but like my following, I don't know if I told you this, but I had 1,200 followers at the beginning of October, and we just hit 10,000 a few days ago. So that to me, that's just crazy growth in a short amount of time that I'm so thankful for, and it blows my mind. But I know that the only reason, because my numbers aren't always good. Shoot, sometimes I got 100 views, 300 views, and I'm like, whatever, TikTok, okay. And then it's like, oh, this has 3,000, which I know to a lot of people, that's still bad. To me, that's good because, for the longest time, I had 400 followers and 80 views. So, wait, no, I lost it. Where was I going? There was a point. Oh, I lost it. It was something about...
We were talking about posting every single day until you get that inflection point. Yeah.
Thank you. Around the time that it got pushed out once, but I still was at 1,200 followers in October of 25. I saw this music guy. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. I could find it for you later. But he had some 9-minute video that I sat and I listened to. And he basically went on and on about how if you are a musician, singer, songwriter, you have to post 4 times a day. Mm-hmm. And I just basically said, okay, fuck it. Let's go. Let's go. I'm done doing this halfway. He must be right because he's showing his growth with his band. I haven't done it that way for 4 years. It's not working for me. Okay. And so I did it. And you just keep, people are like, you just keep posting. You keep showing up on my page. And I'm like, all right, it's working. And then there were times where they're like, where did you go? You're not on my FYP. Well, I was still showing up every morning, 8 a.m. Central with a post. But there are times I want to throw out there are times where TikTok doesn't push you out. Yeah. And there's really there's not necessarily a reason for it. Somebody could say, oh, well, maybe your stuff wasn't as good. It was pretty much the same content, just I'm wearing different clothes.
Yeah.
So I would tell people just don't give up, stay consistent with it. Because the algorithm can be so weird sometimes and not make any sense. But I don't know. Or don't listen to me about that because I don't study that kind of stuff. I look at my analytics, but I am no kind of business guru with the computers and that I'm just noticing what I notice.
Yeah.
And that it can be real just wonky sometimes. I don't know why that didn't get any views. And then, the next day, all of a sudden, you got 3,000 likes on this 30-second video talking about affirmations. I'm like, okay, fantastic.
Well, because it's resonating with people. I mean, you're a musician, you study resonance and you're creating resonance. And that's what's happening is resonance. Can I put you on the spot? Can I ask you to sing something real quick for us? Just a little something?
Sure, I would love to. I will apologize. I told Michelle I was going to bring my guitar and I did not have my shit together and my guitar wasn't prepared. So let's see. Would you like to hear some of the song I keep talking about? I Am Grateful?
Please.
Okay. All the cells in my body are healthy. All the cells in my body are healthy. And I am grateful. Yeah. I am grateful. I am grateful. Ooh, yeah. Why am I so grateful?
I love it. It like hearing your voice, it lights up something inside of me. It makes me feel good. If I'm driving, I have to tell myself sometimes I'm driving and at stoplight, I'll scroll a little TikTok. I'm telling you, it's addictive. But if you come up, your video comes up, I'll just let it play over and over and over. I'm like, I'm going to help Cole's. I'm going to help Cole's.
I appreciate that.
And I'm going to get to listen to this over and over and over. And just get myself in the mood that I want to be in today. It's so beautiful. Cole, if people want to find you on the internet, where can they find you?
ColeAdamsmusic.com. That's my website. But I am on every single platform, digital streaming, Coyle Adams, ColeAdams, and YouTube, Coyle Adams Music. And I'm thinking, I'm like, is it Coyle Adams Music? I'm like, yeah. ColeAdamsmusic.com. That's where you can find everything.
Fantastic. And if you guys want to connect with me, I'm at Michelle Descale on every platform. And Cole and I are both answering our own DMs for the moment. So get us while we're hot and you still can. Cole Adams, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's been an absolute joy and a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here and excited to see all that you're going to do and all the inspiration you're bringing through this podcast. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's fucking go. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.